On February 16th, the news hit like a thunderbolt. Actress Kim Sae Ron was found dead in her home, leaving the public reeling in shock. Once a child star brimming with talent, poised to become a cornerstone of South Korean cinema, Sae Ron's life unraveled after a scandal involving drunk driving and a crash. In her final years, she drowned in debt, abandoned by the public, and trapped in a mental spiral so severe that those around her never fully grasped its depth. Police confirmed her death showed no signs of outside interference. Instead, it seems she chose the most extreme way out, a desperate bid to silence the torment raging in her mind. So, what really happened to Kim Sae Ron in those dark final days? Who or what pushed her to this breaking point? That's what we're diving into today. You're watching True Crime in the World, where we unravel the most mysterious cases and gripping stories out there. And as always, before we peel back the layers of today's enigma, do us a favor, drop a like, hit subscribe, and tap that bell to support the team. Thanks so much for being here. Kim Sae Ron came into the world in 2000, born into a fractured family. After her parents' divorce, her mother struggled to raise 3 daughters alone, scraping by in dire straits. That single mom battled crippling depression, even contemplating ending it all, herself and her girls included. For young Sae Ron, this cast a long shadow over her childhood. She'd wake up in the dead of night, heart pounding, terrified her mother might whisk all 3 sisters off to another world. Hoping to ease her mom's burden, Sae Ron took a bold step at just 9 years old. She plunged into the entertainment world, beating out 1,000-to-1 odds to land her first role in The Traveler. And just like that, she emerged as a child actress with boundless promise. But don't think that made life any simpler for her. The films this little gem of Korean cinema starred in weren't light fare, they were heavy, delving into characters scarred by trauma and crushed by unbearable pain. While other kids her age were carefree, playing without a worry, Sae Ron was diving deep into roles of despair and heartbreak. Directors demanded she channel every shade of emotion, hopelessness, devastation, the works. And maybe, just maybe, that took a toll on a 9-year-old's fragile mind. Then came 2010. At 10 years old, she starred alongside heartthrob Won Bin in The Man from Nowhere. The film stormed the box office, becoming the year's biggest hit, and catapulted Sae Ron's name to new heights. They called her a prodigy of the screen, her acting chops far beyond her years. At her peak, Kim Sae Ron wasn't just a film standout. She shone on TV too. She lit up the screen in hits like A Girl at My Door, Snowy Road, The Neighbor, Can You Hear My Heart, I Am a Dad, and more. She snagged Best New Actress at the Blue Dragon Awards, Korea's most prestigious honor, and earned a nod for Best Actress at the Baeksang Arts Awards. With her fame and skill, everyone believed she'd grow into one of South Korea's top leading ladies. But soaring so high, so young, came at a cost. She lost her childhood along the way. Famous since she was little, often playing quirky, troubled roles, Sae Ron became a target at school. Through elementary and middle school, bullies hounded her. They'd scrawl vicious words on walls, mock her looks, hide her shoes, even trick her into showing up for meetups just to ditch her alone. It got so bad that Kim Sae Ron had to ditch regular school for homeschooling. She powered through, earning her GED, and later enrolled in Chungang University's theater and film program. Yet her streak of misfortune didn't end there. Despite proving her talent with a string of intense roles and a shelf full of awards, the online crowd wouldn't let up. They tore into her, not pretty enough to be an actress, too plain as an adult. That relentless cruelty cut deep, sinking its claws into her already fragile psyche. Even so, Kim Sae Ron pressed on with her career, determined to prove herself through new roles. But the weight of fame and the cutthroat entertainment industry started to overwhelm her. Then, in 2022, everything came crashing down. She got caught driving drunk and caused a serious accident. Overnight, the acting genius image she'd built shattered into pieces. That crash didn't just wreck her car, it knocked out a power transformer, plunging the area into a 3-hour blackout. Nearby shops took a big hit, card transactions stalled, and chaos rippled through. Right after, Kim Sae Ron owned up to it. She posted a handwritten apology on Instagram, pouring out her regret. admitting there was no excuse and vowing to take responsibility, promising to cover the damages herself. But the South Korean public wasn't having it. They were furious, and her apology didn't soften the blow. People lashed out online, saying someone who'd been the industry's golden child since she was little had no business throwing it all away like that. To them, she didn't deserve forgiveness. Still, Kookmin Ilbo reported something surprising. Kim Sae Ron stayed true to her word. She personally visited all 57 affected businesses to apologize and pay up, a rare move for a celebrity. One shop owner even said, "I couldn't believe it when Kim Sae Ron showed up in person to say sorry." Yet the fallout hit her hard, especially financially. Brands dropped her like a hot coal, demanding compensation for tarnishing their image. Film projects kicked her off their casts without a second thought. Once a top-earning young actress, Sae Ron found herself buried under a mountain of debt. 700 million won, about 500,000 USD. With no income and her savings drained, she hit a dead end. She started selling off assets, even giving up her fancy apartment. But that wasn't enough to climb out of the hole. At just 22, she was spotted working part-time at a cafe, scraping by. Even then, as she tried to start over, the public's wrath wouldn't let up. Close sources said she'd grind from morning till dusk. On top of that, she took up teaching acting to young performers for extra cash. Despite all that hustle, the massive payout loomed out of reach, and the criticism never stopped. When she worked those cafe shifts, people mocked her, calling it a publicity stunt or playing broke. When she hinted at a showbiz comeback, they slammed her. Not repentant enough. When she opened up about her money troubles, they scoffed, "An actress can't be poor." No matter what she did, the public's judgment stuck like glue. No second chances, no way out. Her money dwindled and her future faded into fog. That's what she was up against. Last April, the former child prodigy tried staging a comeback with a short play, but it got axed under a tidal wave of backlash. The public's hostility pushed her to a breaking point. She posted a brief video on Instagram, pleading, "Can't you all just stop?" From a gifted starlet, Kim Sae Ron once had it all: career, fame, fortune, all before most kids even hit their teens. But the same industry and audience that lifted her up turned around and boxed her in. Sure, her mistake was undeniable, but did she really deserve to lose everything, to be crushed so relentlessly that there was no way back? One of the shadows that drove Kim Sae Ron to her end was a YouTuber named Lee Jin-ho. Right up until the day she chose to let go of life, this guy kept churning out videos tearing into the young actress, never giving her a chance to start over. Just this past January, he dropped a video titled, "Kim Sae Ron deletes selfies again, vanishes after marriage rumors, tried contacting her, no luck." In it, he claimed he couldn't reach her, speculated she ditched her phone number, and scrubbed photos to hide a secret wedding. He went on, slamming her for not reflecting seriously enough, calling her irresponsible as a public figure. And it didn't stop there. This rumor chaser accused Kim Sae Ron, someone already in self-imposed exile after her drunk driving crash, of sneaking drinks during her penance, insisting she hadn't truly repented. Lee Jin-ho's videos leaned hard on guesswork, with no solid proof, but they still lit a fire under the public, reigniting the hate storm aimed at the actress born in 2000. That crushing pressure from the masses, paired with the ghosts of her childhood trauma, pushed Kim Sae Ron to the edge. On February 16th, 2025, they found her lifeless in her home. People close to her revealed she'd been wrestling with severe depression before the end. She'd fought to pull herself together, scrambling for cash to tackle her debts, but the scornful glares of society and venomous online jabs wore down her hope of ever living a normal life again. When news of her passing broke, her family didn't stay quiet. They're gathering evidence to sue Lee Jin-ho. And then suddenly all those attack videos on his YouTube channel vanished. No apology, no explanation, just gone, as if they'd never existed, as if he'd never wronged her. The clips that mocked her, spread toxic rumors, and dragged her name through the mud, wiped clean. Plenty of folks are asking, where's this guy's conscience? While she was alive, he wouldn't let up, fanning the flames of gossip. But the second she's gone, he scrubs every trace. Is Lee Jin-ho scared of a lawsuit? terrified of the public turning on him or just dodging the fallout he helped create. Facing his silent cleanup, Kim Sae Ron's family isn't backing down. They're vowing to take this lawsuit all the way, insisting YouTubers like Lee Jin-ho must answer for the mental anguish they inflicted. Nobody should profit off lies, trashing someone's reputation, then just hit delete when tragedy strikes and pretend it never happened. But no matter what comes of it, Kim Sae Ron's gone for good. And the big question lingers. Was this YouTuber the one who drove her to the brink? Or does the blame stretch wider, to the thousands online who cornered her step by step? Can society actually learn from these tragedies? Or are we just waiting for the next victim, stuck in this brutal cycle of attacks, smears, and despair? South Korea's entertainment world sparkles with glamour, dripping in luxury, but it's a ruthless machine. Slip up once, and there's no mercy, no second shot. One day, you're a star soaring to the heavens. The next, you're plummeting into the abyss. Make a single misstep, and there's no turning back. The country's seen this heartbreak before. Choi Jin-sil, Sully, Guhara, Moonbin. They all shared the same fate, shoved into the dark by public judgment, left with no way out, no one to shield them. The pressure from fans, the industry, and the very people who once cheered them on, it crushed them when those same voices turned cold. Kim Sae Ron tried, just like Sully and Guhara did. She wanted to live, to rebuild from scratch. But the public wouldn't budge. They kept digging into her private life, hurling the harshest words they could muster. And those who threw stones, who tore her apart online, now they're posting tears and tributes, wondering why she'd choose to leave. The answer's been there all along, though. Nobody gave her an exit. Kim Sae Ron fell victim to the unrelenting cruelty of Korean showbiz, a place where fame can lift you to the stars or bury you in an instant. These days, as people mourn her and headlines flood with grief, some point fingers at a YouTuber like Lee Jin-ho to ease their own guilt. The ones who bashed her probably don't even recall what they typed, but she carried that pain to her last breath. What's truly terrifying is that this cycle of tragedy just won't quit. The public's still reeling from losing another young artist, crying, mourning, drowning in regret. But then what? Give it some time, the pain fades, and they're back at it, tearing into the next victim. They'll hound someone new to the edge, mocking, shaming, spreading vicious rumors. Some even turning it into a job to cash in on the chaos. And so, another Sully, another Kim Sae Ron steps into the spotlight. More artists will get squeezed until they can't breathe, maybe for dating someone they love, flubbing a lyric, or missing a dance step. Simple slip-ups, yet enough to shove them into the abyss. Then tomorrow rolls around, and there's another heartbreaking headline. How long until this merciless loop breaks? When will people realize a careless word can snuff out someone's will to live? Without change, the public stays a faceless mob of killers, cornering young souls into the shadows, then playing the mourner when they're gone. So instead of shedding tears when it's too late, why not learn to forgive while they're still here? None of us are perfect after all. That's it for today's video. What do you think about Kim Sae Ron's passing? Does YouTuber Lee Jin-ho bear some blame for the tragedy she faced? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk it out. And before you go, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you won't miss what's next on True Crime in the World.